there! I have decided I want to paint today. I have sketched out this adorable pear that is on Unsplash by Olga. I will link it below. It's just one little pear hanging from a branch. I decided I wanted to do a pen sketch and use my core watercolors and possibly this pan of Buff Titanium by Daniel Smith. I'm not sure I want to use that, but maybe. So what I did was I just sketched it out and I used my Micron pen in, it's brown and it's a PN, which I think means plastic nib. And I went over my pencil lines, then I erased my pencil lines, and now I just have my pen sketch. I'm going to use my Mimic Cat's Tongue. I believe that's a 3/4 inch. I'm going to use that to wet the background, and I'm going to paint, or I'm going to wet around the pear. I did not want to worry about what colors I got into the pear, and I make sure later that I paint it and I'm careful that it doesn't look like a sticker. At least I hope it doesn't look like a sticker. You're gonna have to tell me. So I'm gonna get a nice sheen all around the background. I don't mind if I get paint on the leaves right now, but the pear I'm leaving dry so that the watercolor does not spill into the pear. I am going to use today Cobalt Teal, Nico Azo Yellow, Burnt Sienna, Sap Green, Payne's Gray, and again, maybe the Buff Titanium. So this is a lot more colors than I typically use, but I'm going to do it anyway. So a tiny bit of Cobalt Teal washed over, because I just want a hint of color. I don't want it to be a really in-your-face background, but I do want it to have like the look of something back there. Like it's not just sky. So I'm also going to drop in the tiniest bit of sap green here and there. Well, it's not, there we go. Just a tiny bit, just to represent a little bit of leaves here and there. And I think I'm going to do the Nickel Azo Yellow too. And Burnt Sienna, I'm going to mix that in with some of the sap green. Just drop that in. We'll do some splatter. Yeah. Some splatter in there. I like that actually. I'm going to do that with the sap green. Some splatter. Oh, a little bit more. Ooh, more. Yeah. That's what I want. And oh, goodness gracious. I'm actually going to do that with Cobalt Teal. That's intense, but I think it's going to be okay. And then some Burnt Sienna. And then Payne's Gray, because I'm going to use it. Oh gosh, that was a lot of water. This is such a thirsty brush. I forget about it. Just a tiniest bit. Oh, that's really tiny. Okay. And then I don't like that, so I'm going to wash that out a little bit. And then I'm going to put some Buff Titanium in there just in case. I don't know if it's really going to do anything with splatter. This is kind of a experiment. That is a crazy background. I don't really like this Payne's Gray, so I'm going to lift it out and I'm going to splatter something else on top. Probably the Cobalt Teal. Yeah. Yep. That's much better. And then a little more Nickel Azo Yellow. Woo! getting crazy, but I like it. And then I'm going to do a little bit more sap green because it just feels like I need more sap green. Okay. I think I'm going to see what that does. Blot that out. Actually feel like I want to come up to the pear over here because it seems like it's too disconnected. I don't want it to look like a cut and paste, you know what I mean? Like I don't want it to look like a sticker. Oh my gosh, it's not enough water. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back and work on the pear and the branch. I'm probably going to clean up all the splatter as well while it dries. The background is dry. It looks really cool. I really love it. I noticed up here I missed a little bit of section of my paper, but I'm going to leave that. I think it'll look interesting when I take the tape off. I'm not going to let that bother me. So I think now I'm going to work on putting in the branch. And for that, I think I'll do a little, well, let's just mix this up. Mix up the mud on my palette. And then I'm going to bring in a little Payne's Gray. And I think that'll work. It's a little more green than I want. So I'm going to add a little more Payne's Gray. And maybe I'll put in some buff titanium. I just have it in a little thingamabob. What are those? Pan. And I have it in a pan. With a magnet on the bottom so I can just stick it where I want it. And I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna because it's still a little bit green. I want to gray it up a little bit. Here we go. That's much better. And I'm going to blot. I'm going to blot what I put on because I don't want the green to be there. And put that. That's dark, but it'll be good. Still feels a little green, but we'll see what it looks like when it dries. I am using a Royal Majestic number 8 round. It says Royal Majestic 4250 on it. For the background, I used a Mimic oval wash 3/4 inch. Now this branch turns a little bit red as it comes down to the pear. So I'm going to grab some burnt sienna, drop that in, and then bring it up to that. And then it's a little bit green as it touches the pear. So add that in there, and so we have green to red to gray. The little stems to the leaves are green, but they're like a bright green. So I'm going to use the yellow and the mixture I have here It's a little bit of a green. I'm just going to put those in. I don't mind if they touch the wet branch. It doesn't really bother me. Here. Didn't do a good job of staying the lines on that. Okay. I messed up over the lines of this one too. Oopsie. There we go. That's fine. No big deal. I might, I don't love how dark this is, so I'm going to put some water on it and dab. That's better. So the highlight, I'm just dabbing out. There we go. All right, the leaves are dark. So I'm going to bring in some sap green. And a little touch of Payne's Gray. That's nice. That's a pretty color. And I'm going to start over here. Goodness, this brush isn't coming to a very good point, actually. I think I'm going to switch. It's just kind of a round point. That's not really what I want. Let's see, what else do I have handy? Here, let's try this Zen Whirling Like Nickel. Yeah, that's more of a point there. That's great. Much better. I didn't mix up enough paint. Typical Karen. Didn't mix up enough. I don't know why I struggle with that. It's a good thing I don't work with large paintings because I'd never mix up enough. Ooh, that's really dark. too dark almost. Let's see. Blot some of that out. There we go. Actually, I think I'm going to blot some of this one out too. Yikes. There we go. I just don't want them to be all one color. I want them to have variety because the light is going to be hitting them. So, yeah, that's that. There we go. I like that. Okay, and then I'll just soak up some of that paint. That's looking nice. Yep, I think that looks pretty good. Dab up a little bit on this one. I think I'm going to mix add a little more dark to the branch, and I'm going to use a little bit of Payne's Gray and just mix it up with what's on my palette. Just go underneath really quickly. And then I'm going to, just with a damp brush, I'm just going to bring it up slightly. good. Over here, I'll make this is a little bit too straight. Okay. Pretty. All right, another thing left is the pear. Okay. I'm going to mix up, let's see what this looks like. Let me test this. Okay, so we have cobalt teal, nickel, oh, that's not the right one. Nickel azo yellow, and a little bit of burnt sienna, so it doesn't look like candy. Okay, and I'm going to do a wash of that. It's a little bit more green than I want, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the nickel azo yellow into it. And then down here, I'm going to add in some sap green at the bottom, because that's where the shadow would be. Just speckle it in. And then I want to speckle in some burnt sienna. I might even put some titanium or buff titanium in there. Let's see. I might like it, I might not, but don't hate it. Not yet, anyway. Okay, I am going to dry that and see how I like it. Actually, I'm going to spread this out a little bit, because when watercolor like spreads, like whooshes, it sometimes look like veins, and I don't want it to look like veins. Not on a pear. I'm just dabbing those out a little bit. I feel like it needs a highlight. Let's lift a little bit. Oops. All right, I'm going to dry that and see what I feel like, if I like it. It's got potential. I think I want to add yellow over top. So I'm going to add the nickel azo yellow. I'm just going to add a glaze on top. And then some more dark down here to give it some dimension. like that. I like that a lot. Taking a little bit of that Payne's gray that I used for the leaves, the dark mix, and dabbing that under here. It's pretty. I feel like up here is just kind of it's not showing like the light coming down. I might need to add some white gouache. I might need to. I don't think the buff titanium is going to do it because it's too... Well, let's see. Let's see. Before I say it won't work, let's try it. Nope, I don't like it. A little bit better. Just scrubbing it out. And I'm not scrubbing. I'm just wetting the paper just lightly. I do have a scrub brush I could be using, but I don't know if I need it. I think this is working. There, and then right here. It's a little more rounded. Yeah, I think that did it. I like that. Now I do want to add a white, not white, let's try buff titanium again. Like the vein. That might be too thick. Well, let's just commit to it. I think it's all right. Little spots of that. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and see what else it needs when I come back. So the buff titanium didn't really do anything on the leaves. I mean, it did right here, but on these you can barely see it. So I'm going to get out my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White and a fine liner. So I've got my Mimic fine liner here. That's not clean water. I should be careful. And let's see. That's a bit bright. I kind of think. Well, let's see. I can always glaze over it with white. I mean, yellow. I might do that. very thick. That has clean water in it, and that's exactly what I needed, because this this is very green, and I don't want green mixed up in my container. There we go. That's too much though. Oh my goodness. Grief. There we go. Had too much water. These look very stark. Really, really bright. So I kind of want to put some on the edges too. Oh, I don't know. Maybe nitpicky. Like down here. Like here and there. And then I'll go over it with some yellow. And it'll look like I meant to do it. Like the sun is sparkling. Okay, and while I'm at it, maybe I should mix up some over there and just, oh yeah, there we go. That's good. That's good stuff. Like that. Right in here and just blend it in. Just blend it in. Here, blend it up, the shape of it. I think that's pretty. Some dots on the branch. Just for a little extra texture. And I also need to add a little butt, a little butt to the pear. A little burnt sienna, a little Payne's gray mixture, and just a little butt. How cute is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so yellow, let's see. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we need right there. Just glaze a tiny bit of nickel azo yellow over top of those veins. Makes all the difference. They look like they're sun-kissed. feel like I need a little bit of this around this right here. Go. That's that. I think I'm going to take the tape off. Yeah, I'm going to take the tape off. Really pretty. I love the subtle background right here. That's pretty. I'm happy with that. I really am. And I left an area right here where I can swatch the colors that I used and make notes of the colors I used. Yeah, I think that's a great addition to my sketchbook art journal. Okay, so let me know what you think of this. Let me know if this is something that you would give a try. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.